think the Archmage even has brochures like these. No posters or town criers or plays. Either he lacks the gold or he doesn't want to conduct his election campaign in this manner. I don't know exactly why the council leader left the brochures lying here. It was agreed that children can't vote. First they wanted to base eligibility to vote on size, which of course led to resistance among us gnomes and the dwarves. And then they said weight should be decisive. The more you weigh, the more weighty your vote, but then the trolls and ogres would have been overrepresented. In the end, they agreed on a minimum age. However, there are still arguments because rats, undead children, and other minorities can never vote. This is the desk that Chantal, the daughter of the council leader, and little Timmy share. Hard to imagine two students being any more different. Chantal is only here because of its tradition in her family, and I don't think she really cares about magic or has any real talent for it. Timmy, though, well, he is eager to learn and was so excited the last few days. It's for students like him that we have to get this school back up and running. A pencil case. A ruler. Nothing special. Oh, Chantal forgot her book. Seems to be a book of fairy tales, but one of the tackier kinds. My dad used to read me fairy tales when I was a kid. The bloodthirstiest, most cruel, creepy, proper fairy tales. I'll just leave it there. Chantal can take it tomorrow. I don't know who that boy was. He was a right pain in the arse. However, he seemed to understand a great deal about magic, and if I managed to teach him some manners, he could be an excellent student. Generations of students have left their mark, especially in the form of little pictures and sayings carved into wood. Here's a particularly long one. For all drifters and troublemakers, condemned to write the same sentence on the board over and over again, no problem. Cast the automation spell on the piece of chalk and it does it all the work for you. Bartholomew. Hey, aye, that's cheating. Pretty clever though. The spell carved into wood down there, I'll just write it down. When the school disappeared 20 years ago, obviously no one looked after the animals. Expected consequences, really. I don't need the whole skeleton, but a sharp-pointed bone like this might just prove useful. It appears they wanted to replicate the fish's natural habitat as exactly as possible, including miniature treasure chests, just like the ones frequently found in the sea. Hey, some old coins. Maybe one of my predecessors had a vicious fish guard his retirement fund. Introduction to magic, sheep breeding and care, statistics. That seems to be some kind of timetable. Oh, most of the plants have dried up. No one looked after them. Only this plant must have found a water source somewhere. Perhaps one of the windows has a leak. It gives you hope to know that something beautiful and peaceful has survived in this gloomy building. Ah! Ugh! The last time a fire burned in this was before the school disappeared 20 years ago. And even if I could, I shouldn't start a fire in it anyway. The flue was broken, and the smoke would fill the entire classroom. Little ash, but also some unburned waste. Here's a sheet of paper. Another book page. Or more precisely, another folded sheet of paper upon which 4 pages have been printed. When I look at the page numbers on the first sheet and on this sheet, it seems there are at least 5 sheets missing. The mixing of potions is an important part of magic. It's a bit like cooking, except a stew doesn't kill you if you add the wrong ingredient. Or if it's stirred wrong. I suspect that some sort of strange magical creatures were kept in the cages. Students, for example. Ooh, crazy drawings and symbols. That must be really high magic. Only the wisest mages can understand all that. This book looks very old and important. Half the class had runny noses. Most were recaptured. This is the roll book where the teacher writes down any unusual events. Teachers are traditionally paid in apples. I got this one myself because I didn't want to spend my first day without an apple. Plus 5 points for defeating a troll, minus 50 for leaving your dorm at night. Maybe young Harry is right. That seems a little unbalanced. Whoa! School must have been more competitive back then. It didn't let me down this time, though. It worked even better than I expected. It was like it wanted to conjure. I could hardly keep it under control. Unusual. This device looks more like ordinary engineering than it does magic. Most magical devices have lots of golden parts, elaborate decorations, and bells and whistles, just the way the mages like them. This one could easily come from a gnome workshop. What does it say? The apparatus that corrupted student Allardyce. A warning to those who do not want to accept the limits of magic. Maybe I can find something in the roll book about this Allardyce mentioned in the note on the apparatus. Here. Despite repeated warnings, young Allardyce continued his experiments on his fire maker. To my great regret, I must say that the device works. He demonstrated it to the staff. We had to have him committed to the asylum in Arkhamstone because of his delusions and insubordination. A wizard who invents a fire maker and then committed to an insane asylum by other wizards. I guess they didn't understand his new kind of magic back in their time, or they figured their monopoly was in danger. For a long time, wizards were the only ones allowed to make fire. Archmage! Remy!
If it isn't our newest professor. How was your first class, Wilbur?
I don't know. At first it didn't go so well. I wasn't properly prepared.
And then?
Then I asked your brother what I should do, and he advised me to do some magic. So I conjured up some kobolds, and I think the students liked it.
Ah, well done. That's the right thing to do. You've already pretty much won the battle, Wilbur. Once they want to learn, they will.
What brings you to the school?
I wanted to pay Horatius Bloch, the new headmaster, a first visit and see how the school's doing.
That's very nice of you. But don't you have more important things to do?
Well, it's my old school. I once walked these halls as a child myself.
What the Archmage doesn't want to tell you is that something is wrong here. For a few days he has sensed the presence of something evil.
What do you mean you sense something evil?
Everything we do and think leaves a trace. You know how you sometimes shudder when you enter a place where great evil has been done? Dark magic leaves a particularly strong trace, like a bad smell.
And it smells like dark magic around here?
I first felt it a few days ago. First in the lower town, then in the upper town, and now here at the school.
Where did it come from? I mean, do you know who's responsible?
I don't. The trace dissipates. There is too much wild magic in the air here at the school.
We must keep our eyes open at all times. Good detective work will serve us better in this case than some hocus pocus.
So what's he like, the new headmaster?
He's no mage, that's for certain.
He is an agent of the council leader.
First and foremost, he is a reliable official with principles, Remy. The council leader of the merchants did appoint him, and he may advocate her policies. Yet I do not believe he will conspire against us. He is stern, but upright.
Did you see the way he looked at me? Like I was vermin. No, I tell you. The council leader has hired him for one reason and one reason only. He is supposed to make life difficult for our Wilbur here.
Am I being set up to fail so they can put the blame on you, Archmage?
Ah, if that's their plan, then they have already lost.
How's the campaign coming along? I hope we're winning.
We're still in the lead.
But our margin is shrinking. Van Buren's bigwig cronies are throwing tons of gold into her election campaign.
How are things in the town? Have things calmed down?
Not really. The barricades are getting higher and the camp is getting larger.
People are getting impatient, and who could blame them? The war is over, yet everyone is doing worse and worse.
But you're doing your best, Archmage.
It takes time, Wilbur. The deeper the wounds, the longer they need to heal. And nothing causes deeper wounds than war.
We must deliver results. Most still trust Alistair, but the mood could swing. Then we would not only lose the election, we would have a riot on our hands.
The council chairman was here. She picked up her daughter from my class.
Ah, terrible person.
She has great influence, and she has friends in high places.
She could also use her influence to do good, too. So why is she trying to bring you down?
She believes that that would be a good thing, Wilbur. Almost no one wants to do evil. There are just very different views on what is evil and what is good.
I think I'll go see the headmaster. Goodbye, Archmage. Bye, Remy.
Goodbye, Wilbur. Don't let them intimidate you.
I'll do my best, and I won't give up.
I know.
You go on ahead, I'll be along in a minute. I want to talk to you in private, Wilbur. There are problems.
That bit about dark magic all over the city does not sound good.
It's not just that. I think the Archmage's life is in danger.
What?
There was an attack, or there may have been one. Alistair insists it was a coincidence, but how often do heavy gargoyles just break off the mage tower when he is standing below them? I have assigned as many rats as I can spare to guard him, but you must also keep your eyes open, Wilbur.
Me?
Not only is something going on in the city, something is happening in the school too. We need information. We need to find out who is behind all this.
I hear Alistair's finally appointed you head of the Secret Service. From King of Thieves to High Public Office, eh?
Absolutely. Made quite a stir. It is the first time a rat has ever officially held an official government position. More than a few are of the opinion that with so many humans out of work, rats should not receive any jobs at all.
But nobody knows the city like you rats do. You really helped me out during my last adventure. You brought me potion ingredients and my fantastic magic wand.
And you saved Timmy and my entire clan from starvation. We'll never forget that, Wilbur Weathervane.
Timmy was a great help during my first lesson this morning.
Yes, he has done well. He absolutely wants to be a mage, just like his role model.
Just like the Archmage.
No, just like the hero of the Black Tower. For Timmy and many others, you are one of the heroes who ended the war.
Oh, me? Then it's best I talk to the headmaster and ask him what I should do for him.
Whatever it is, just do it and act inconspicuous. But keep your eyes open for anything unusual while you do so. Well, things that look unusual even in an enchanted mage school.
Got it.
Why don't we meet down at the inn after work? Then we can exchange news.
I just hope Headmaster Block doesn't keep me busy all night.
Oh, you'll be fine. You defeated the Shadow Army, never forget that.
Yeah, just Back then, I wasn't alone.